I've got so many questions, but is this a gamble for Hamilton? And what does it say more about Mercedes or Ferrari?
Yeah, he's 39 years old now, Hayley. This is maybe the last opportunity for him to drive for Ferrari. He has previously talked about being happy to finish his career at Mercedes, with whom he has achieved so much. He says that his idol Ayrton Senna never drove for Ferrari, and therefore you can have an iconic career without driving for them. Is it a gamble in pure racing terms? Well, he's had 2 winless years. He has seen Red Bull sweep all before them. He has another opportunity this year with Mercedes, if they've got the car right over the winter, to maybe do something. Then in 2025, he will be at Ferrari, who have been nip and tuck, I think you have to say, with Mercedes over this previous period, but a good distance behind Red Bull. Surely the expectation must be that Lewis Hamilton is not just going to do 1 year at Ferrari. He's almost certainly agreed to at least 1 plus an option of a further year, which would take us into 2026. New engine regulations come in then. This is the gamble aspect, I think, because Mercedes have proved themselves the best at making a Formula One engine. My expectation was Lewis says if he doesn't get it in the next year, 2 years, maybe the last gamble for him would be to stay at Mercedes till 2026, when Red Bull will probably suffer with the new engine rules. Ferrari also have a track record of good engine development, so maybe on that score it's a kind of calculated risk he's taking. Let's see what the various parties have to say about this later today, but maybe there's more to this than just pure competition. We know with Lewis Hamilton, it's about what he achieves off track as well as on track. Mercedes have been a magnificent platform and partners with him for lots of really important initiatives. During the Black Lives Matter campaign, remember, they changed their car from silver to black. They began the Ignite program to sponsor underrepresented groups within engineering programs and so on, and to make the Formula One paddock a much more diverse place. Ferrari also has this international platform. They're renowned around the world. They're a truly global brand. Maybe Ferrari and John Elkann, its chairman, have sold Lewis Hamilton this vision of, we know what you do off the track. If you do it with us, it can be even more powerful.
Well, Hamilton will drive alongside Charles Leclerc at Ferrari, and this is what he had to say last June about being a future possible teammate of Hamilton's.
We are in Formula One and we love to be fighting against the best, but that's not to say that my teammate is not fast. Carlos is an extremely fast driver, but yeah, considering that, I mean, I'm not the person who makes the choices, so yeah, let's see.
Would you welcome Lewis?
If I say yes, I imagine it being the title of every newspaper, but I mean, Lewis is such an incredible driver, has achieved so much in the sport, so I think anybody on the grid will love to have Lewis as a teammate.
Yeah, how do we think he's really going to feel, and how do you actually see the Hamilton-Leclerc dynamic actually working?
It's a really interesting one. We were, I suppose, a bit downcast, and I was even Slater gets the better of him, happy to take on George Russell, one of the best of the young prospects in F1, and now this, joining Ferrari, where Leclerc is ensconced there. Clearly, Ferrari had identified him as their priority. That's why they'd signed him up rather than Carlos Sainz, who he's currently partnering. He is managed by Nicolas Todt, who's the son of Jean Todt, a legendary Ferrari team principal. So Lewis, you would say, yeah, this is a big challenge for him. Will he be 40, in his 41st year, going up against, you know, one of the quickest young drivers in the world. Be a great scalp for Leclerc to take if he could outscore him over the course of the year. But yeah, you would think the amount of money that Ferrari are doubtless paying Lewis Hamilton, the fact that he has the global following as well, he's only going to get surely equal treatment with Leclerc, and what a story it would be if he could bring the championship to Ferrari.
Your biggest rival, sometimes first and foremost in Formula One, is your teammate.
All the time.
Oh, yeah. OK, knock-on effect, domino, just like in the transfer window.
Yeah.
Who replaces Hamilton at Mercedes then?
Yeah. That's harder to see. But what I think it is worth mentioning here is that this perhaps explains why McLaren signed up Lando Norris a couple of weeks ago to a longer-term deal, and why Ferrari signed Leclerc up as well. Because I think Ferrari, as soon as they knew they were getting Hamilton, and by the way, my understanding is this courtship has been going on for some months. It's not a sudden thing, and John Elkann, the chairman, very big hitter, very much at the centre of it and the driving force in terms of bringing Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari, which is interesting, although team principal Fred Vasseur is someone Lewis knows from junior days, so there's no potential friction there. It's not like the chairman has signed someone over the manager's back that you sometimes get in football. This isn't like that, but the other teams have been aware that their prize assets might be a target for Mercedes, I think, because they got wind of the fact that Lewis was maybe going. So that explains the Norris deal, maybe the Leclerc deal as well. Hard to see who Mercedes promote. Probably good news this for George Russell. He'll become #1 within the team. I mean, it's young. Fred Vesti is their junior driver. He's not ready for Formula One. They've got Mick Schumacher as their reserve driver, who didn't have a great start to his F1 career. Might he be a stopgap? Alex Albon, to me, would be the kind of the heavyweight signing for Mercedes to replace Hamilton with. He's at Williams, who are bossed by James Vowles, who was Mercedes' chief strategist, so there are links there. But yeah, this could certainly will create a ripple effect. It's going to be really interesting next year with Lewis knowing he's leaving Mercedes. How do the team deal with that? Carlos Sainz at Ferrari, what does he owe them? They've replaced them with Lewis Hamilton. It's going to create a lot of storylines.